I'm just back from holiday with my beautiful wife. We've had a week in Lanzarote. The sun was shining, the alcohol was flowing, and we had a really great week relaxing. I tell you that because it's kind of going to link to today's video. I'm going to talk to you about coaching, but before I talk to you about coaching, coaching is linked to an inherent skill, and that skill is listening. Now, while my wife and I were on holiday in Lanzarote, we met a number of people, and one thing that quite a lot of them had in common was their inability, or their perhaps it wasn't inability, perhaps it was just a lack of desire to listen to anybody around them, and in particular to listen to us. And we ended up in one-way conversations. I'm sure you know people who do this as well, where it's as if they are just on transmit. There is no reception whatsoever. And when you're on the receiving end of someone who just constantly transmits and talks at you, it can be a little frustrating, and actually over time you find yourself not wanting to spend time with that person, and certainly the respect you have for them seems to deteriorate. So I bring that into this conversation, or into this video today, because it made me think about coaching. And before I go into a series of coaching videos and explain how coaching works and why it's a really effective leadership style that helps you to engage your teams, then actually, if you haven't learnt to listen first, then there's no point learning a coaching management style, because you have to learn the skill of listening before you can become a coach or adopt a coaching style. And there's a number of really interesting statistics about listening that I'll just flag for you before we go into actual content. The first of which is that 85% of everything we learn as human beings and throughout our lives is learnt through the skill of listening. And there's a number of research studies done on it, but 85% of what we learn can be attributed purely to listening. Less than 2% of the population, less than 2%, are formally trained to listen, or trained on listening skills. So 98% of us, of you, have never been trained formally on listening. And we listen at a rate of around 125 to 250 words per minute, but we think at a rate of somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000 words per minute, whether that be in images, pictures, experiences. But that's the difference, and our minds cannot keep up with the pace at which we need to listen. And 75% of our time is spent either distracted or preoccupied with something else. And when you combine all of these statistics, it's no wonder that people really struggle to listen to other people. So I'm going to talk about listening skills in the next video, but today I'm just here to increase your awareness. So get you thinking about what you might need to focus on in order to improve your listening skills. Now, the number one barrier or block to listening is us. It's our own mind. It's the chatter or the inner voice that we all have and experience to greater or lesser extent in our lives. And it's also our own impatience and reaction to the environment and the things that are going on around us. And until we become self-aware and we understand that that's the cause of us not being able to listen, changing it is not possible. So awareness is the first step. So today I'd like to set you a challenge. After you've watched this video, I'd like you to start to notice where you struggle to listen. Start to notice what goes on in your own mind, in your own thoughts, as you are trying to listen to people and actually find yourself either distracted or feeling impatient or feeling like you need to get to the next thing, or that there's something else that you feel is more important or pulls you away. And once you start to notice this, I promise you it will be transformational in the way that you interact with other people. And learning to become aware and then control that urge to be distracted or move on to the next thing is one of the fundamental keys to improving your listening skills. So that's my challenge for you today. I hope you accept it and that it makes an impact for you over the next 2 to 3 days. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to go into the different types of listening and the levels of listening and how we can improve our listening as a skill. But the first step, as I say, is awareness. So I set you that challenge. Good luck with it throughout the course of this week. I hope you've enjoyed that subject and that topic and it's got you thinking. If you'd like to comment on this video, please feel free to do so. I'd love it if you shared this with someone who you think would get value. I think there's going to be a lot of people who will get value out of just that awareness around listening. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode where I'm going to talk to you a little more about listening, and then we're going to go into coaching and how you can become an effective coaching manager. I look forward to seeing you on the next video from the Leadership Success Series from Focus for Growth. Thanks for tuning in.